Attendees are coming in. I see.
And I'm going live on Facebook now.
For those who are in the webinar already, welcome. We're gonna wait for 1 minute for everyone to arrive, and then we start on time at 11. Okay, it's 11 already? I think so, yeah. So welcome again to everyone. We are very happy to have you with us for this webinar today called Make Things Happen, webinar about the EU Youth Strategy and some key tools and instruments. Before I introduce you to our speakers today, I will tell you a little bit more about us, YEP Europe. My name is Jochen Schell. I'm the director of YEP Europe, and we have also here Tanya Katzbert and Carla Morales. You can maybe wave. We are hosting this meeting today, then after introducing you to YEP Europe, our organization, I will tell you a little bit more about this webinar as well, the context of it, and some technical aspects about Zoom. So let me tell you more about us. So YEP Europe is celebrating 20 years of YEP this year. It's a very important year for us, 2020. We are a part of the International Academy in Berlin. So we are an NGO based in Berlin. And we are basically at the heart, at the center of a network called YEP Community Network, which is a European network of youth organizations and communities. And you can see here some key facts and figures about us and the network. So the network has about 40 members, 110 communities across Europe. You can see here 18 countries. I think we passed even to 19 recently. And in terms of outreach, our work reaches out to about 12,000 residents, of which 5,000 young people. And as you can see here, our key focus is youth and community empowerment. And when we say that, one very important aspect of our work, of our mission, is the development of capacity building programs for young people. And these programs are very much based on the needs of young people in our network. So we are constantly checking through surveys and the direct contact with our partners. What are the key topics, key issues and needs of young people in terms of learning and capacity building? So these programs are based on topics such as, of course, youth and community empowerment, but also specific aspects such as social inclusion of marginalized groups. Entrepreneurship is a big topic, especially social entrepreneurship and what we call community-based entrepreneurship. But also topics such as media work, so youth empowerment through media work, also human rights or children's rights, and topics such as climate change or the recent climate emergency. So this is very, very shortly summarized who we are and what we do. And of course, at the end, we will give you also our website where you can find out more about us. Regarding this webinar, a little bit of context. This is the third webinar out of 4. It's a webinar in the context of an Erasmus Plus program, Key Action 3, support for policy reform, civil society cooperation in the field of youth. And you see here the flags at the bottom. These are the countries involved in this program. So there are 12 partners from 12 countries. And one of our main missions in this program is the promotion of the EU youth strategy and the youth goals. So this is the context of this webinar. We had a first webinar on the EU youth strategy and a general introduction into it. Then recently in October, we had a second webinar more focused on the youth goals with some speakers and experts from Austria. And today, as you know, the webinar is called Make Things Happen. So today we'll talk about concrete instruments and tools, programs, which are part of this EU youth strategy. And we have some people who are pretty much involved in these programs, either as organizers, coordinators, managers, or as young participants of these programs. So this is a little bit of context. And by now, I suspect that many people are familiar with Zoom. Given the current situation, a lot of events are online, and maybe most of you have had a Zoom call or Zoom conference. This webinar is a webinar. It's not a conference call, and therefore some functionalities such as the camera and the microphone do not work for you as a participant. However, we invite you to actively participate through other functionalities such as the chat. So there's a chat room. Please use it for comments, questions. There is also polls, which you probably just saw or are still looking at, these little pop-up windows where we are asking questions to you, and you just need to tick the answers. And then we have a question and answer section where at the end of this call we would like you to ask questions to our speakers. So we'll reserve 10 to 15 minutes for that. And last but not least, we also live on Facebook. So whoever is not in this call, because we had, I think, 160 registrations. We can only have 100 people in this room for technical reasons. And so we can also be followed on Facebook. This is about it for the technical aspects. And now let me introduce you to our speakers today. So we have our main speaker today is Ariadne Matraka from Hellenic Youth Participation in Greece. She's a very experienced person in these EU programs, and she has a Master of Science in International European Policies on Education, Training and Research. Ariadne has been implementing numerous projects in Greece since 2013 as a trainer and project coordinator in non-formal education. She has coordinated projects under the funding of Erasmus Plus, European Solidarity Corps, and Council of Europe. And she also coordinated and co-trained the local team of People, Places, Partnerships, which was a flagship project of YEP Europe 2 or 3 years ago. So Ariadne has been in the role of a coordinator, manager in several projects, and she will tell us more about her experience and some also technical aspects about these projects. And then we have also 2 more guests. Iguacel Lachendeval from Spain, but based in Athens. She will talk about her experience in the Solidarity Corps program. And we have Agelos Georgiadis. I hope that was pronounced more or less okay. Apologies if it wasn't. And Agelos will talk about the Erasmus Plus program and his personal experience in the program. So we're very, very happy to have you all with us. And I would say it's your turn now, Ariadne. The floor is yours. We're very happy and excited to listen to your presentation. Thank you.
Super, thank you. I will share also my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, super. Hello, good morning. My name is Ariadne, and I am a project coordinator in Hellenic Youth Participation. I have been as a trainer in different initiatives here in Greece, and more specific in Athens. And also I have been as a trainer in different European projects in Greece and out of the Greece. So what I would like to present today is about opportunities that exist for young people, how they can get involved and how they can obtain some tools in order to implement their own initiatives. So I will speak about what I will present is about Erasmus Plus and more specific about youth exchanges, the mobility of youth workers, also about European Solidarity Corps project, Discover EU, and Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. And I would like to have the first question about your experience in these EU projects. Tanya, if we can publish the question. Thank you. So in which EU program have you participated? If you have this opportunity, also to see if you know them. Okay. So the most of the people, as I see, they have participated in youth exchange and training course. Okay. And solidarity, we have. Discover you, no one between us. Okay. So I will move on about I don't know why. So what is Erasmus Plus? Is the EU program to support education, training, youth and sport for over 4 million Europeans in order to train, to gain experience and volunteers abroad. The Erasmus Plus doesn't have opportunities only for students. So European Commission wanted to give the opportunity also to people that maybe doesn't have a specific educational background to participate in mobilities and be active also in their in local level. Regarding youth sector, Erasmus Plus gives the opportunity to young people, informal groups, and youth workers and youth organizations to travel abroad, to participate in youth exchange projects and volunteering projects. And the aim of this project is to allow young people to be part of the European Union, learn about its institutions, and to be active citizens and improve the quality of youth work. So I will go for youth exchanges, that is, allow groups of young people from different countries to meet, live together, and work on shared projects for short periods. It takes place outside of the school environment. So normally is what we say about non-formal education, and non-formal education contains activities as workshops, exercises, debates, role plays, outdoor activities, and other activities. So the duration of the youth exchange project is mainly 5 to 21 days. The age that can participate in youth exchange program is between 13 to 30 years old, and also the groups should be together with a group leader who is at least 18 years old. So the minimum amount of groups, national groups that can participate in a youth exchange is 4 participants and 1 team leader. Maybe there are some teams that they are with 10 participants and 2 leaders, so the minimum amount of the participants is this, the 4 and 1. So the youth exchanges are managed by youth organizations, informal groups, or other organizations, and there is a financial support regarding the travel, the accommodation, the food of the participants. And how the people, young people can apply, they can apply through different organizations that they search for participants. What I would like to mention here is about youth exchanges. As I saw, some of us, we have already participated in some youth exchanges project, and normally, based on the guide of Erasmus+, the youth exchanges have as necessary condition that the participants have already been selected before the youth exchange is applied. So the young people normally they design their own youth exchange based on their needs and what they want to learn during the youth exchange. So it's really nice that we have the opportunity to participate in projects, but based on the guide, the youth exchange necessary have the participants before the application of the project. I just say it because in this way, when you participate in a youth exchange afterwards, you can create your own youth exchange with your local group, selecting a specific topic that your team is interested in, and start to engage different people from different countries in order to create your own common youth exchange. As I will move on, I will go to mobility of youth workers. So the difference between youth exchange and the mobility of youth workers is the target group. Youth exchange is, as I told, for people between 13 to 30 years old, that they don't have any specific background. So it's not necessary to have finished the university. It's not necessary what is your economical situation. It doesn't matter where do you live. The thing is that you have to be between this age and you are interested in this specific topic. In the mobility of youth workers, the profile of the participants is more specific. So we speak about people, and we should engage people that work with young people in local level, and they want to develop their skills. So the mobility of youth workers that we speak about, training courses, contact making seminars, and job shadowing, it supports the professional development of youth workers and contribute to capacity building for quality youth work. So the learning outcomes, including any materials and innovative methods and tools, should be further disseminated in the youth field to contribute to quality improvements of youth work. So what I would like to mention is the profile again of the mobility of youth workers. So we speak about educators, about youth workers, about youth trainers, that they want to develop their skills. The duration of this project is between 2 days to 2 months, and there is no age limit. Training courses are managed by organization and professional educators. And again, there is a financial support regarding the travel, the accommodation, and the food. Again, you apply through different organizations and different open calls. So this is about youth exchange and training course that I would like to mention, because it's the main projects of Erasmus Plus in the field of youth. And I will move on in European Solidarity Corps. If we can have the second poll, Tanya, please. So we speak about European Solidarity Corps. What are the costs that are covered? Transportation, accommodation and food. So we speak about volunteering projects. What do you think that are covered? What costs? Okay. Super, so we have transportation, accommodation and food. So what I would like to say about a European Solidarity Corps that is a very new project is also about promoting the volunteering and solidarity across Europe and across European Union. So, European Solidarity Corps, I will speak about two initiatives. The first is the volunteering, and the second one is the solidarity projects. So the volunteering, we speak about individual volunteering, is a full-time unpaid solidarity activity for a duration from 2 to 12 months. In some cases, volunteering activities are starts from 2 weeks to 2 months. That is the short-term volunteering. So 2 weeks to 2 months is a short-term volunteering, and from 59 days to 1 year is the long-term volunteering. This type of solidarity activity will give young people between 18 to 30 years old, and only there is a specific age limit, the chance to take part in the daily work of organizations and perform tasks that can have a real impact. Activities can take place either in a country other than the country of the residence of the participant, of the volunteer, or in the country of residence of the participant in country. So there are the cross-border volunteering, but also the in-country volunteering. So this is the individual volunteering. We have also volunteering teams that are solidarity activities for short-term volunteering that includes 10 to 40 European Solidarity Corps participants for at least 2 different countries to volunteer together for a period of 2 weeks to 2 months. So the teams with 10 people are only for short term. What it is covered by through this project? It is covered the insurance. There is a linguistic support and the specific training where is it necessary. Also, the travel costs are covered, the accommodation, the food, and there is a small allowance of their personal expenses. So what we have a sending organization, a volunteer, and the hosting organization. Usually, the hosting organization is the one that writes the project. And in the application procedure, they should engage the volunteer. What are the needs? What is the project? What the organization can offer to a volunteer? And after, there is a sending organization that prepare the volunteer in order to start their project in the hosting organization. So as Iwasel will tell us afterwards, she's the volunteer, Hellenic Youth Participation is the hosting organization, and organization from Spain is the sending organization that prepared her in order to be ready for the volunteering experience here in Athens. So, about solidarity projects. Solidarity project is something very interesting that I would like to share with you that we implement also in Hellenic Youth Participation, and its initiatives that participants between 18 to 30 years old can participate and can implement in their local community. So it's like a social change project in the local community. Solidarity projects are set up to carry out by groups of at least 5 participants that have been registered to European Solidarity Corps platform. I will show you afterwards, with a view to address key challenges within their communities while presenting a clear European added value. These projects can last from 2 to 12 months and must take place in the country of residence of project participants. Young people who want to form a group to run a solidarity project must be registered in portal, in European Solidarity Corps portal, and there is no upper limitation on the number of participants. the group will decide autonomously on the working methods and how the project will be managed. So the Solidarity projects are one initiative that it's not necessary to engage youth organizations. So only young people can run their own activities. They will receive funding, that it's 500 euros per month. So if it's 12 months, there is a specific amount, and they can implement this project in local level. One of the participants will assume a role of legal representative who will submit the application. But you can implement your initiative with an organization. For example, in Hellenic Youth Participation now, we run a solidarity project. 5 people created the initiative in order to promote the sustainability of the fashion. So they found a specific need that they want to address, and they apply for a specific project with specific activities to implement it in local level. A solidarity project should be directly linked to the local community. Young people, as I told, live, and also it should be a European added value. So to address priorities identified at European level. A solidarity project should reflect a common concern for issues within the European society, such as, for example, integrated third country nationals, climate change, or democratic participation. So the young people should find a specific problem and design and implement the activities in order to try to change this problem. So this is the one, and then we'll go to Discover EU, that it's only for people that are 18-year-old. So Discover EU is an EU initiative giving to 18 years old young people from all backgrounds the opportunity to travel around Europe and learn from cultures, build new friendships and fellow Europeans, and explore their European identity. There is a specific pass, let's say. They give the opportunity to young people that are 18 years old to receive a rail pass and discover EU and travel in a different country. The aim is to give the opportunity to participate in a travel experience that will enable you to take advantage of the freedom of movement throughout the European Union, explore the diversity of Europe, learn about European cultural heritage. It enables a young person to develop life skills of value to the future, such as independence, confidence, and openness to other cultures. So how someone can apply? So this person can apply through the European Youth Portal, and there are 2 specific application rounds that the person can apply individually. So when you apply and you reply some questions, after the selected participants that they get awarded, they receive a travel pass. With this travel pass, they can travel with the railway in different countries. At least they have to visit 1 EU country. Or maximum they can have a duration of 30 days that they can travel up to 7 days. So normally they give a pass and you can travel at least from 1 day to 1 month, and you can select how long and which countries. And in this link, you can find specific information, because here the Discover EU announcement gives the opportunity to apply. And as I told, the only requirement that exists is to be 18 years old when you travel. So it's like a transmission for a young person to the adult. So this is about Discover EU, and I will move to the next one. If we can have the last question, Tanya. So we have Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. Who is eligible participant to participate? Okay. So we listen entrepreneurship and we listen young entrepreneur, and we believe that there is an age limit, but there is no age limit. So the correct answer is that there is no age limit, and I will go through. So Erasmus for young entrepreneurs helps provide aspiring European entrepreneurs with the skills necessary to start and successfully run a small business in Europe. New entrepreneurs gather to exchange knowledge and business ideas with an experienced entrepreneur with whom they stay and collaborate for a period of 1 to 6 months. Who is eligible? So it's the young entrepreneurs. It's not about the age. It's about how young your entrepreneurial idea is. So the eligible participants are new entrepreneurs who would be entrepreneurs with a credible business plan, or people who have already started their business within the last 3 years. There is no age limit and there is no topic restrictions. So I will show you the procedure that the people should follow in order to apply for Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. But just keep in mind, what you need in order to apply is to have a specific business plan. So to have a specific business plan, or you have already started your business, but it's not more than 3 years. So it's the thing that you need to develop more your skills in order to have a successful business. And what you normally do, you go as a job shadower to a company, to a business with the same profile with the one that you want to create, in order to take the skills and to solve the issues that maybe have in order to implement your own idea or make it more successful. So the benefits, because it's a benefit for both, for the new entrepreneur and for the host entrepreneur that hosts the new entrepreneur. So as a new entrepreneur, you will benefit from on-the-job training in a small or medium-sized enterprise in another participating country. This will ease the successful start of your business or strengthen your new enterprise. You can also benefit from access to new markets, international cooperation, and potential possibilities for collaboration with business partners abroad. As a host entrepreneur, you can benefit from fresh ideas from a motivated new entrepreneur on your business. He may have specialized skills or knowledge in an area you do not master, which could also complement yours. So, what is the process? So first of all, you have to make an application. Whether you are a new or experienced entrepreneur, you can participate by applying via online registration tool. At this stage, you will also need two of your choice. This local contact point will be responsible for verifying your application, and if all requirements are met, accepting it. So what I would like to show you is the specific website for Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. As you can see, this is the page. The Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, what you should find first of all when you want to apply is to find your local contact point. So what you are doing, normally you have to select your country. Which is your country? So maybe if my country is, it is in Greek, but okay, let's see that this is Greece. What I see is specific local points that can support me in this procedure. So they will support me. I have an idea. I want to go to do a job shadowing, but I need my local point. So I will contact, for example, Academy for Entrepreneurship, Kenotomia plus SIA. So all these are the local points in order to support me in this procedure.
Sorry, so, Ariane.
Yes.
We cannot see the page. We see only the slide from your presentation. What is Erasmus Plus?
Ah.
Maybe you need to share your screen with the website.
Give me 1 minute.
Try to do new screen share.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
If you go to screen share, share screen, You can.
Now you see
now we see your presentation.
my presentation, but we will go like here.
This is the website, yeah. Yeah, I have copied it already in the chat, so maybe people can open this link.
So now you can see it.
Nope.
Okay, so if you open this page, what you will see the first thing that is your local contact point. So in this local point, you can select what is your country, and you can find the local point that they can support your process in order to apply for this job shadowing. So we have the application, we have to make the matching between the participant, the young entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur that already offered this opportunity. So there is a specific business that says, okay, I can host a new entrepreneur, and maybe we can exchange ideas, we can exchange experiences. So there is the commitment and preparation. The parties involved draft a commitment to quality consisting of a description of the work of the learning project, objectives, tasks, responsibilities, deliverables, financial conditions, and also the local point organize activities such as trainings to prepare the new entrepreneur for exchange. And after we have the implementation phase. The duration of this project is between 1 and 6 months in total. So this is a duration that someone can go, can visit, and job shadow what happened in this specific company. And afterwards, there is no specific condition that it's so in the beginning, when you apply with a business plan, it's not committed that you will implement afterwards what your business plan was referring. So it's not necessary, but it's important that you have a specific business plan and you have the potential to implement in your country a specific business idea. But no one afterwards will check if finally you implemented the idea or not. And also there is a specific amount of money that are given per month in order to support the young entrepreneur for accommodation, for food, for transportation, and all this. So there is again a funding. So where I can find mobility opportunities? So I have Salto, that when you go to Salto, I don't know if I can share screen, Salto Youth, it's a specific platform that someone can search for mobility opportunities. So if you are a young person, there are opportunities that you can go and can search, and you can select the topic or the country or the period of the time that you are interested to participate. After we have European Youth Portal, that the European Youth Portal, I will try to find to show you, there are all the opportunities regarding European mobilities. And especially European Solidarity Corps. So in this youth portal, what you have to do is to sign in order to have an access that you are an eligible person, not more than 30 years old. And what you can do is to try to find mobility opportunities. So what we usually do is that, so for example, if I do the join in order to see my profile, I would like to show you. So what we can see here is my profile and also the thing that I can search for information. So here is my reference number, and I mention this because it's a number that is necessary if I want to be a volunteer abroad, but also if I want to apply for a solidarity project that I mentioned before. And what I can find is the opportunities. So if I go to opportunities, there are different opportunities for mobility. So here there is a map. So maybe I can select where I will implement my solidarity project based on the country preference. Or maybe I can select a specific topic. So to show a project that is about environment, where there are, or which is the period that I am more flexible to travel, or what is the duration that I can participate. So these are mainly the most important pages, let's say, that you can visit in order to find this kind of opportunities. And of course, what I really support is Facebook. So if you search for Erasmus Plus Youth Exchange, or if you search for Erasmus Plus European Solidarity Corps, there are a lot of opportunities that you can apply. Or for example, you can search like Erasmus Plus in Greece or Erasmus Plus in Italy. So also to find very specific information for mobilities that are focused in the target groups of your countries. So thank you very much for this. I hope that it was helpful, and I gave you some information about mobilities for youth. And I don't know if I can proceed with questions, or to give the floor to Iguasel and Angelos to share their experience in Erasmus Plus and the European Solidarity Corps. What do you think?
I suggest we leave the Q&A session for the very end. We are already, I see here, we have some questions already. You can even look at them already, Ariadne, if you want to. And I would suggest we start with our young people and their personal experience with some of these programs. So Iguazel, do you want to start? Yes, great.
Yes. So thank you, Ariadne, for the presentation, and thank you all for giving the opportunity of being here today, explaining my experience. So as Ariadne say, I'm doing now the European Solidarity Corps experience. So I think it's useful to explain my background in order to know why I'm here today. So I'm from Spain. I'm turning 23 years old today. And I've studied international relations, and then I did a master in European and International Studies. This year I finished, but then I don't know if you heard about it, but something called coronavirus came. So all my opportunities, like my job, decent opportunities in Spain or abroad, were erased totally. So I found that like as a sign, because since a long time ago, I wanted to do a volunteering program, taking advantage of my privilege to help other people. So I found this, like the European Solidarity Corps opportunities, and I decided to apply because I thought it was the moment to do it. So since the very beginning, the process was really easy because I applied on Tuesday, if I'm not wrong, and on Friday I get my reply, which says that, okay, we want to make an interview for you in order to give you the opportunity. So for that, I was like really happy, because normally all the internships or jobs that I applied before were like really complicated to get in. So since the very beginning, it was really, really cool. So now I'm here in Athens since 3 months. Yes, in 2 days I'm going to be here since 3 months, and I'm going to stay here till the end of January. But now I have the opportunity to stay even 6 more months, which I probably will do. So basically my project is called Solidarity in the City, and the basic goal is to empower young people to participate more in local activities of awareness and intercultural dialogue, using for that the non-formal education. So basically we made now online debates also like do-it-yourself workshops, workshops about human rights, about art, climate change. And at the same time, I have the opportunity of developing a personal project. And now basically I'm focusing more in helping refugees. So I'm working with local associations here in Athens. For example, I'm in a social kitchen giving food for the people who doesn't have the money of the opportunities to have that food. And at the same time, I'm working with the project that Ariane mentioned about solidarity for fashion, focus on sustainability in the fashion business. So yeah, even though it's being complicated for coronavirus, because obviously it's not the same as in a normal situation, I'm very happy, and I know now that it was like the best option that I could ever take. So yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy. So I will like suggest you to do it if you want and if you can, because it's a really good opportunity to connect with other people, to connect with other cultures, to have more maturity, to have more, I don't know, like secureness about yourself and about your future. And I'm learning a lot, like really a lot. So, and I'm learning Greek as well. So I would really suggest you to take the advantage and the opportunity that the European Union gave us as young people. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you. And I'm seeing here that I'm happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you for that. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, I'm here to reply as much as I can. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Marcel. It was great to hear firsthand from a young person living the whole experience. So it's very, very nice, and also good to know that it's seemingly not that complicated to get there. So let's keep the questions for the end again, and talk to or listen to Agelos. And his experience. I think he will focus more on Erasmus Plus. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me here. Yes, the pronunciation is right. And very happy birthday to Equator for today. So I'm going to focus more, yes, on Erasmus Plus and youth exchanges and youth trainings. So I've participated in some the last few years. First of all, let's start by introducing myself. I'm Angelos Zodiadis. I'm from Greece. I live in Athens. I'm 21 years old, and I'm also studying international and European studies. But it's random. It's not related to studies. This project has for everybody. So when I first came across Erasmus Plus projects, and it was actually in a local event. I was participating in a student team when I was 17 years old, actually. And a director of an NGO found out that we were preparing a theatrical play which had an anti-racistic message. So she included us in Erasmus Plus funding, and we had the opportunity to go and learn more with some extra funds about the anti-racistic history of our city and improve ourselves. And after that, have a better opportunity so that we can share this with other people around. After that, the same person included this idea in this team of young people working on the dissemination of anti-racistic meaning through art in a youth exchange project, which was created and hosted, organized by us, but by this NGO, but hosted in Barcelona. So we had the opportunity. It was written on our interests, like Ariadne explained earlier, and we had the opportunity to meet many people from other countries around Europe who had the same interests and the same things worrying and thinking about and educating themselves about. So Erasmus Plus projects and youth exchanges especially have two basic parts for me that are very, very important. One of them is the educational part, because through non-formal education and through a way that you don't come across every day at your university, at your school, at your home, you get to learn through experience many, many stuff and through cooperation. And the second very important part is the intercultural aspect of this, so that you can cooperate and communicate with people from all around Europe and not only, and have also their point of views and their opinions on these topics. So when I came back from this project, my first project in Barcelona, it was pretty amazing because I was so much bonded to people who were there, and I didn't really expect it. We had different opinions, we cooperated, we discussed, we changed our minds, and we got to know so many stuff on something that we were interested in. The cost was really low. Actually, there was no cost for us. And everybody had the opportunity to do so on a topic with their own interest. Moving on, the next years, I had more opportunities on this, and I realized that it's not only about people who live in different countries in Europe. It's also about cooperating and getting to know people from other religions, maybe with different sexual orientations, gender identities, with different governments, with different political beliefs, and with all them, somehow in Erasmus Plus, you make a strong bonding, and you exchange ideas and ways of thinking, which is pretty beautiful actually, and that's why I kept doing it for the next year. And every time I chose to apply for projects that were in my interest because it's educational projects and funding. And I got also to train a lot of my soft skills during this time, and I had the ability to practice it with other people who were pretty good at this actually. So later on, some projects later, I had the opportunity to go also to youth trainings. One of them was with Ariadne, where we met. During these youth trainings, we had more technical information, so we spent more time on training than the intercultural part. We had people without age limit. We were not only very young, like under 30 years old people, but we had the opportunity to learn more on something that we were chosen to and we really liked. So after that, we had follow-up projects. We created with Ariadne together local projects also, and actually one together, which was also a debate competition about human rights, and with a follow-up youth exchange with the winning teams for the like the project finals, which were intercultural from people from different countries. So I had also the opportunity to take a little bit part in the participating aspect. And right now, to finish, I really love this part, this whole part. I got some also more opportunities. I am considering to start making my own organization step by step, maybe my own team. I get a lot of opportunities. I know a lot of people after all this period of time from around Europe, and we're going to start organizing and hosting our own projects so that we give the opportunity to other people to do what we did. Because if it affected and changed us so much, it can definitely become the beginning of changing some other people's lives and creating a social impact, generally for people who are interested in this. And if we want to create any kind of social impact, I believe that by educating through non-formal education, it's the best way. So, thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Agelos. I hear both of you are very good ambassadors for what we have been presenting here. So it's really great to hear your first-hand experience and how you have taken advantage of these programs. It's really great. We have now last 10 minutes for questions to our speakers. So to the audience, we have some questions already. They came in while Ariadne was talking, so I guess they were rather addressed to her, but please use this Q&A session also for questions to Iguazel and Agelos. And by the way, happy birthday, Iguazel. It's great to have your birthday and you to celebrate it with hundreds of people on Zoom. So first question here, Ariadne, can a private business expert in adult education and VT participate in a youth exchange as sending or hosting organization? You probably had to look at these questions already.
If a vet center have engaged the young people between 13 to 30 years old that they can design together a project, yes, they can apply. And also to send people for participants, but you should have engaged young people in this target group that they are eligible to participate, because as adults, I mean more than 18 years old, it's not possible, but yes, it's possible.
Great, thank you. So then we have another one for the EYE, so the Youth Exchange. The receiving organization gets money from the EU. Do they get? Yeah.
Okay, so European Commission provides the funding for these projects, and it is allocated to national agencies that each country has. So when you apply for a project, you apply to a national agency and they approve your project. So for example, if my organization based in Greece, I will apply to my Greek national agency and they will give the approval for my application, and they will provide me with the grant that actually is coming from European Commission and European Union.
Okay, great. So I see you're very fit on these technical questions. That's very good. Here's another one. If a person has already participated in European Solidarity Corps or did an internship, is it also possible to participate in Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program? And are there some limits or restrictions?
Yes, it is possible. They are not connected. So someone that has already done his European Solidarity Corps volunteering is possible afterwards to apply for Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. And what I wanted to mention is that you can do an European Solidarity Corps short term, and afterwards you can also continue with a long term volunteering project. So also you can continue, but if you have already done your long term, you cannot apply again for a short term.
Super. Thank you, Ariadne. Here's another question. This one is addressed to our young people here. Why do you both move to Athens to work on EU projects? But Agelos, I think you are Greek. You didn't really move. But anyway, are you working in some organizations, and do you want to share your context for future collaboration? Iguazel, what was the motivation to go to Greece? You have nice weather in Spain too, in most of the parts.
In my case, it was because I've lived in cities like Paris, Berlin, Madrid, and I wanted to change, like totally change, like find another ambience, like another way of life. And because also I wanted to help refugees, and here there's more chances to do that, for example, in Spain or other countries. And because the project was really interesting, the one that Hellenic Youth Participation offered me. So that's why. There wasn't like a reason, like a proper reason, but in the end I found like very interesting. And about the future contacts, do you mean like the organizations where we're working now, or? Because yes, we're working with other organizations like that had partnership with our organization, and in that case, yes, of course, I can share it.
It's probably the organization you're working in right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in that case, yes.
There was a question in the chat about what you do with refugees. Maybe you could add what specifically you did.
Yes, actually, it depends on you and what the associations allows you to do. In my case, I'm very happy with that because Hellenic Youth Participation gives me the opportunity of really choose what I want to do. So in my case, I found some associations that works with refugees, and now I'm working with almost 4. So first I'm with Cora, which is a social kitchen, which is right here, like 5 minutes from my home. And basically I'm helping in the kitchen, like preparing food, giving the food, cleaning everything. And it's really nice because you know a lot of people and you really see how you're helping other people. At the same time, I'm working in Winith Books, which is a multilingual library. There I give Spanish classes to the people that wants to come. And now we are giving like some ideas for projects to other organizations. Basically, in one of them, we're trying to focus more on working with women. For example, giving skateboard classes, or I don't know, like do-it-yourself workshops, as well as Spanish classes. So it depends on you and what do you want to do and what you can offer to that people. But it's really like open. So yeah, in my case, I decided to do that, but it's really what you want to do. Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Great, thank you very much. We have some more questions here. Could you give us tips on how a motivation letter should be? Well, maybe the framework of this Zoom, well, this webinar is not ideal for this, but maybe what we could do is share some links, because I'm pretty sure that there are resources on the internet where you can find these useful tips. So I suggest we do that, and the same for other questions which were asked beforehand. I think also Ariadne, you had several links. And we will all share those links and send an email after this webinar to the participants. I think this is the most sensible thing to do. There is another one here. Can a non-European living in countries like Turkey participate? For example, an African living in Turkey, for example. Ariadne?
Yes, it's something that is possible, but when you apply for a volunteering project, there are some eligibility criteria that there are specific countries that participants are coming from and that can apply, but there are some open calls that there is no country limit. And what it's very important to say is that it doesn't matter where you're from, but it's about where do you live. So for example, if someone is from Greece and he's living in Slovakia, he should apply through an organization in Slovakia in order to go somewhere. It's not about where are you from, but to find an organization that can support your volunteering project. Also, if you are a resident of Turkey, you can find an organization that works with volunteering projects and make a contact with another organization. But also the European Solidarity Corps portal will support and will give all the possible opportunities that exist. So when you create your profile, you can find the opportunities that based on your interest and your specific profile and the period that you are available to participate.
Great, thank you very much, Ariadne. And there is one last one, but maybe we answered it already. Gabrielle, let us know. The project I meant was Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, but I think this was referring to another former question.
Yeah, but I remember that it's two different fundings. European Solidarity Corps, it's different with Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. So you can apply for both of them. Mm-hmm. And you know, sometimes we have so many opportunities that we get lost and we don't know where to go, but there are a lot. Also, if you try to find in youth portal, you find a lot of opportunities.
Great. That is good to know. And as I said before, we'll share all these links because obviously it was really fantastic to listen to you guys today. But of course, once you are motivated and you want to do this, you need to also do your own homework and do a little bit of reading through what are the opportunities, how do you apply, etc., etc. If we can help you with sharing some links, we're happy to do that. Here's the last poll. Is this the last one, Tanya?
Yes.
Because we're already at the end of this webinar.
Yes,
I'd like...
Here the last question from Sylvia about the online remote.
Oh, there's another one.
See, the last question. Ariadne, do you have something to say about that?
It depends on how the organization is handling the situation. So, for example, now it was said that it's in our organization. We try to support to create online seminars, online events, and try to avoid the face-to-face events. But we try to support. It depends on the organization. There are some organizations that have stopped their mobilities, but depending on how the situation in the country is, what are the measures that have already taken, but still, okay, the mobility is not the same. Also in the numbers, also in the qualities, but there are also online opportunities. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's actually a very good question. I mean, we know from our own experience that we have several Erasmus Plus projects where mobility like events were planned and they have been postponed, and many organizations also are looking now into not completely canceling them, but creating either a blended format where parts of that exchange can happen online and the face-to-face is postponed. And I think we are all in the same situation right now, where indeed things are not not normal right now, and a lot of things are indeed postponed. And we have to hope that this is not gonna last too long. As I said just a second ago, we are already at the end of this webinar. There are no more questions here in the Q&A section, I see. I would like to take the opportunity to really thank the three speakers, Ariadne, Iguazel, and Agelos. It was really, really great to learn more about all these opportunities and to hear such yes, engaged and motivated people, great ambassadors of what we talked about today. Thank you very much. For the audience, thank you for tuning in. As we said, this was one webinar out of 4. It was the third one in a series of 4. All this has been recorded. We will publish also the webinar as a video. We will send you a follow-up email with the links as promised. And that's it for today. Thank you again very much, and hope to see you or hear or have you in a future webinar very soon. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Tschüss
Thank
from
you.
Berlin.
Bye.